Okay, so I'm back. Things look a little different. It's because the game freaking crashed while I was gone. This might be a short episode because, like I said, I'm basically just going to go till we get to Monmouth, especially after having to run back here after the game freaking crashed. This must be the altar Garadia spoke of. It emanates with dark power. The veil between realities truly is thinned here. With Olgrim's keepsake, you should be able to use the altar's power to determine his location within the void. Okay. Okay. We're dumping that there. Use Olgrim's heirloom. Desolate wastes. Alright. We're here. It's time to go find Olgrim and get the heck over to Monmouth. And then do whatever we're gonna do there for a short little while, and then, you know, end this recording session. Not that I'm in like a hurry to end it, it's just, you know, it is what it is. So, hopefully... Wow, look at all that XP we're getting. Goodness gracious. Also, I did spend a level up, right. Okay. I seem to remember that I got a level up. I'm glad that I remembered to spend it, but I think we will just be kind of dumping the next few level ups into Oleron's Rage just to get more damage. We need, like, a lot more damage. Because again, the more physical damage we get, the more overall damage we get by a decent factor. And, yeah. Like, it's kind of important. Because we're getting into the part of the game where we are a ranged build more than a build that can tank by any measure. And being a ranged build means we need to be doing damage. Like, lots and lots of damage. Because ultimately what will be our greatest defense will be our overwhelming offensive capacity. You know? Like, it just is what it is. The faster you kill your enemies, the less damage you take. And honestly, I'm gonna say it in, like, no equivocating terms. That goes for any single game in which you have to consider damage and defense. With sole exceptions, like, you know... Oh wow, look at that. The Chthonian Bloodkeeper. With some exceptions, right? Like, there's going to be exceptions. You have to look at it this way. Damage ensures that combat comes to a close sooner, and thus less HP is lost overall. Then your mitigation abilities, like evasion, defense, whatever, are effectively more HP, and can be often more effective than just raw HP. And then raw HP comes third as a consideration because you then are dealing with, you know, like, the thing the defense overlays. So, I know for a fact, as I said that, like, it came into my mind that, oh yeah, I've said this before, but it's worth reiteration. I mean, a lot of stuff is worth repeating, just, you know, as a reminder. And in this, it's no exception that it goes damage, then defense, then HP. Because damage can ensure even that you don't need defense. Defense ensures that what HP you do have is effective, and then HP itself is layered on the bottom as the thing the other two layers are stacked on top. You know? With that all said, Especially with a ranged build, like, you're going to be engaging the enemy at a distance anyway, so you might as well go for maximal attack, and worry about defense as like a middling concern. Which is definitely what I've kind of been doing with this build, and what I do with most of my builds that I've ran in Grimdawn, because most of my builds have been ranged in some way, shape, or form.
Can't do that yet.
Okay, if I remember right, we have to get in there. Also, it is legitimately dark AF. I cannot see a freaking thing. I'm going to turn up the brightness on my monitor. Holy crap. You know, actually, can I, like, turn up the gamma in-game? Yeah, wow, okay, yeah, let me turn this down and turn the gamma up. Did that help? Yes, that helped a good bit, okay. Sorta. Not really as much as I was hoping. I didn't want to do that. Okay, I didn't want to take a screenshot, but okay. Spooky noises. Oh no! Not an ambush of leeches. A leech bush, if you will. Okay, well that's not really an ambush over there, is it? It's just a waiting room. Guess that's what they do in their spare time, is just hang around. Hey, Catharg! What do you think of that obsidian formation over there? I don't know. Jathurg? I like the red. Really fits the, really fits our motif. Really ties the void plane together.
Can't do that yet.
The red spider webbing energy cracks in the obsidian landscape. I mean, it really does have to be boring to... Okay, well, I guess you probably saw that. I don't know if the recording caught that, the little thing in the bottom right. But yeah, you know, it's gotta be really boring to be one of these guys, to just be hanging around in this spooky place. Oh, wow, okay. So does that just happen if you just wait in a random spot after a certain amount of time, or? So if I just stand here for a minute, am I gonna get... Okay. Like, I do wonder what triggers that, you know? Alright. I not only can't see crap, I can't figure out where I'm supposed to go. Hopefully it's over here. You know, it's like Dark Souls 2, where once the ambushes become common enough, they're no longer an ambush, but just an expected part and parcel of traversing the region. Like in Dark Souls 2, there's so many ambushes that not getting ambushed is itself like the shocking thing to have happen. Like, ambushes are the one thing you don't want consistency in. Okay, this is definitely some kind of boss arena, right? Or challenge arena or something. Right, because I'm not...
Locked.
Listen. Oh, I don't think he says it again. He said it's locked, if my yammering talked over it. Yeah, he said it's locked. Like he's a survival horror protagonist. Okay. Ekherzul, progenitor of darkness. Yeah, alright. You can see how much damage we've already done to this nerd, so hopefully this will be over quick. I mean, those spikes probably do gnarly amounts of damage, so I don't really want to get hit by them, but still. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. A stab in the dark, huh? Slay Ekhetzul, progenitor of darkness at the void's edge. Okay. Okay. One thing worth noting is that it did give me an achievement whenever I was like fumbling around with the controller, thinking like maybe if I don't know, go into the thing or like go into the menu and manage to fumble to return to main menu, that it will fix the black screen that happened. But it didn't. But it did give me the Chivo for going into the void, so that's why it didn't pop up whenever I fought back to here to do this. Okay, so the thing is that we beat that guy, and to much fanfare, but we're still continuing through the area. I was kind of hoping that we'd have a conclusion. Right, I was gonna say, is that an ambush? You bet it's an ambush. A Chthonian ambush, a Chthon bush, if you will. Okay, where the heck? Okay. You're getting a little confused. This should hopefully be where we're going. If I remember right, we're going to find... yes, him. Here. We're going to have to fight another boss.
Is that you, Mother? I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I won't make it to dinner. I'm just so tired. Too tired.
What happened to you, Olgrim?
An unfortunate accident, my Emperor. I'm afraid my left arm will take some time to heal, but it should not impede my duties. It is not a concern that should rise above the threats to the Empire, however.
I'm not the Emperor, Olgrim.
Olgrim. I haven't gone by that name in so many years. How do you know this name?
It was the name you gave me back in Burwitch.
Burwitch? There's nobody living left in Burwitch. You must be another memory, haunting me in my nightmares. Be gone!
Olgrim, what happened to you?
An unfortunate accident, my Emperor. I'm afraid my left arm will take some
The
time to heal,
Ligorian did that
but
to you?
The Ligorian and I had ourselves our final dance. I mostly took the lead, but he proved to be a handful of a partner. Together we made a royal mess of this place. I'm sorry for the trouble. I'll happily pay the cleaning fees.
So it's dead for good?
Well, I certainly hope so. How many times do you have to kill a bastard before he stays down?
You have to listen to me, you're in trouble.
Ah, trouble. She and I go way back. Way back. Did you know I slept with the Grand Inquisitor's wife once? She was a plump one, but feisty.
That's pretty terrible, Olgrim. Besides being an adulterer, you're in the void.
The void? That's ridiculous. Nothing living survives in the void. Are you an agent of Chthon, here to lure me into a trap? I'll have you know I am well experienced in the art of murder.
I'm your friend and I'm here to help you.
Yes, I think I remember now. The void. It clouds my mind. Fills my every waking thought with horrors beyond imagination. But if you're here too, how will we get out?
Let's talk about what happened. Seeing as we're stuck here, I suppose we've got nowhere to be. What do you want to discuss? What happened to you while you were in here? After you defeated the Ligurian, it was forced back into the pit it spawned from, right where it had sent me. I was not about to lie down and die, so the Ligurian and I had ourselves a final duel. It took all I had in me, and my arms seen better days, but I dare say the fiend is finally gone for good, unless perhaps there's a worse hell than this awaiting it. Let's talk about what happened. What happened in the necropolis? As we planned, I made my way through the Tomb of the Watchers to disrupt whatever ritual the Cult of Cthon had begun, but I was too late. The Ligurian had already been awakened. He arrived just in time, but the beast had it in for me. It took advantage of all the chaos to pull me into its own realm. After you apparently defeated it in the physical realm, the Ligurian was forced back into the void where I was waiting. Let's talk about what happened. Are you gonna be alright? Let's save such morbid questions for when we get out of here. I'm not dead yet, and that's not what matters right now. Well, we'll escape the void to Malmouth.
To Malmouth. Last I passed through there, it had fallen to the ethereals, and it wasn't a pretty sight. But if you need to get there, then there must be a good reason. Though I can't say I understand why you risked coming for me, if that's the priority. Not that I don't appreciate it.
We're cut off by aether fire. The only way through is through the void.
I see. Then the only way forward is deeper. I'm afraid I'm thoroughly spent and won't be much use to you in a fight. If we're going to get out of here, you'll need to clear a path. Don't worry about me. I will join you through the shadows. Gods know there's plenty of those here.
I will find us a way out. So yeah, he basically had to fight that thing to the death in its own home turf, which is not enviable. Oh, that's what that is, okay. I was looking at that like, what is that? It was just because it was behind the weird, behind this that it looked weird. But yeah, he's been basically just stuck here being, telepathically messed with? I guess it's telepathy? Like, psionically messed with? Oh my goodness. That thing hits hard. Alright, well, hopefully there's not much left. I'd like to think there isn't. I feel like there's another boss fight, though. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that I feel like there is another boss fight, at least. Now, it goes without saying, and normally when something goes without saying, I like being very literal about that and not saying it. But just in case it should be said for some folks, you definitely, by the time you get here, want to make sure that you're playing your character to the best that it can, in the sense that whatever damage or defenses or whatever, you need to be able to survive this crap that you're seeing right here. Like, if you're going to be playing this yourself, you need to make sure that your character can survive, like if they're a melee character, that they can survive taking shots to the dome from 15-foot monstrosities, be tentacled abominations that are larger than a Subaru, and yeah, Volvo-sized living blenders. Like, you gotta be on your crap here. This might end up, actually, if you're on a low level, being easier at a lower level, just because the things will do less damage. I'm not really sure. There's some places in the game, and I know I mentioned it some number of episodes back, but there's some places in the game where it's actually easier to be underleveled. Like, it's easier underleveled. You don't necessarily want to be underleveled. But I'm just saying, there is an advantage somewhat in that, in some areas. Okay. It does not help that I can barely see a darn thing, even whenever I turn my monitor up. I'm gonna do that again. I just don't like staring at what is effectively a light bulb. Oh, yeah. See what I mean? Like, you think Gandalf had it bad. Like, you need to deal with a march of Balrogs. I don't know what the collective noun for a Balrog is, but I feel like a march of Balrogs, whatever, is kind of close, kind of like a crash of rhinos. I feel like for a group of Balrogs, it should be either a march of Balrogs or a snuff of Balrogs. Because yeah, it's grim just to see what amounts to like 5 Balrogs just marching at you with a boss Balrog in the back. Speaking of, yep. Hopefully this is it. If it's not, I'm going to be... Yeah, it has a little star next to it. Going to turn down my brightness. You managed to escape the void. Excellent.
It's good to see the sun again. And I have you to thank for it.
The sun? It's nighttime, bro. You're still addled.
It's good to see the sun again. And I have you to thank for it.
We have to keep moving.
You're right, of course. But you have to fill me in. Why are you trying to get into ethereal territory?
A survivor from Malmuth warned us of something awful. It's an awful, awful forum.
Oh, great. Well, the unpleasantness in the void is behind us. It seems we're stepping right into another. This area has changed since I've last seen it.
Do you know this place?
To the north is Malmuth. Of that, I am sure. But it seems we're not the only ones with sights set upon the fallen city. What remains of the cult of Cthulhu is thick here, battling with our mutual enemy for control over the city outskirts. I'm afraid I see no choice but to wade into that battlefield and carve a path to the city gates. With the ethereals entrenched here, I am certain there's another rift gate around. Find it, secure it, and I will join you.
Okay. An empowered relic. That's interesting. I like that. But alright. I'm on it. Wait here.
I'm sorry. I cannot be of more assistance.
Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and use that recipe. Lone Watch Rift. Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna get into that city. And we're gonna get there through a seething, teeming tide of stupid buttholes if we have to. So I should probably swap back to the Chaos Resistance Talisman. If you do see that in the bottom right corner, I do want to mention that I don't personally play Defense of the Ancients 2. It's just not my thing. Yeah, as much as it stinks, I'm gonna have to switch back to the Chaos Resistance just so that I don't have to worry about, you know, getting O-code out of nowhere. Also, we already have this recipe apparently. I'm just gonna drop it. Slowly go through this. News has reached us through the tendrils of night that the ritual to the west has failed, and Blood Lord Talonus himself has fallen. What a megalomaniacal statement. Okay. I just love Saturday morning cartoon villain energy. It always brings a smile to my face. I'm not saying it's bad writing, I'm just saying it's fun writing. That's a qualitative difference. Good writing does not have to be fun in that kind of way, and campy, goofy writing does not have to be bad. It's okay to just enjoy and appreciate goofy things. I'm not sure how far we have to go before we're in the city proper, but I would like to think that we will be getting another level up before we get there at this rate. Talk about things looking dire, though, that the entire outside of the city, like the city outskirts, has these freaks meandering around. Like, man. This is not your average everyday, like, opposition. This is like a real barrier to people. Like, imagine you escape whatever horrors are in Malmöth and you end up having to come face to face with these dire uglies. Like, that's not really great. Talk about, like, morale busting. Where am I going here? Down here, looks like. Alright. I guess this is, yeah, leading into Malmöth. Morndale, huh? Well, that's a usual sight. So the thing is, like, I've saved for until we get close to Malmöth, is the point that is somewhat obvious that what we're going to be dealing with. Now look, I've second enough that I've only gotten to Malmöth once, and I don't remember any of the crap that I'm doing right now, by the way. I thought you went right into the city. I didn't remember this. That Morndale was a thing. But what I will say is that obviously what we're going to be dealing with mostly is not going to be Chthonians after a certain point, but the inverse. We're going to be dealing with ethereals, like predominantly whenever we get to Malmöth. Again, I'm not saying that out of like personal understanding. I don't really remember anything past what we just, like, literally my memory kind of ends at what we just went through. Like, the last thing I have a clear memory of is the part where you go through the void to meet up with Ulgrim and use it as a transportation method. I literally remember, like, the way that my memory had it was you get to the end of that segment and you're already just in Malmöth. I completely forgot about this, like, liminal phase between that segment of the story and actually being in Malmöth. But the thing that needs to be made clear is that obviously, the problem in Malmöth is ethereal in nature, like with the ethereal faction. That has some connotations. Number one is that you don't want to be doing aether damage. If you're doing aether damage in Malmöth, you're probably not doing damage. Like, just saying, if you're dealing with ethereals, you don't want to be dealing ethereal damage. You want some way of dealing, like, transforming that into some other kind of damage if it's the only damage you're able to do for whatever reason on your character. But if that's not the case, you definitely want to keep in mind that you don't want to be dealing with what is effectively an entire segment of the game where a specific kind of damage is just not going to cut it. Okay, speaking of, going to need to try to aim right at that obelisk. Okay. Just want to shoot right at it. There we go. Okay. Again, it's worth noting that on controller, like, the auto target will just go endlessly for the crap that it spawns. So you definitely don't want to be dealing with that without having the mouse at hand. But the point I'm getting at is kind of clear, that you want to have a aether damage resistance and not be doing aether damage. As far as what ethereals are weak to, I have very little idea about the enemy weaknesses in particular in this game. What I can say is that at a minimum, I'm not going in that if I don't have to, but at a minimum, you know, they're not going to be strong against, like, I would like to think that they're not going to be strong against chaos, being ethereals. I'm pretty sure that, I say I'm pretty sure. What I should really say is, I'm pretty sure by inference that it's sort of one of those, I think Final Fantasy is one of the kind of games, or at least some of them are, the kind of game where the elemental system works as mutual weakness, so like, fire's weak to water, and like, water's weak to fire, or something like that. If you've ever played a game like that, by the way, the one that comes to mind, if I'm not mistaken, is Chrono Cross, where like, yellow element is weak to green, and green is weak to yellow. That kind of thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that that's just by inference, that like, Chthonians don't like the aether damage. Aether, like, aligned stuff doesn't like chaos damage. I could be wrong on that, but I am saying that because, you know, inference does, like, I'm just inferring all that just from how these things work. Now, I'm not sure how much of Orndale there even is, but I know I'm hoping that there is a level up to be had. Sure. Oh goodness. What an absolutely terribly ugly sight. It's nice that the ethereals and the chthonics are fighting, but it's kind of bad that there's enough of them that they're fighting. Go walk Maul, electrified, huh? Nice. Excellent. A calling to shadows. Nice. Got the level up. Okay. So again, we're just gonna dump into Oleron's Rage. And that also gives us movement speed, I just noticed, which is kind of great. But we need that damage. This is where we're gonna start stacking damage high as we can get it, as a matter of fact. Because whatever awaits us in Malmouth is not going to be a pushover, I'm sure of it. And I'd rather push it over. Regardless of whether or not it is a pushover, we will endeavor to push it over. Okay, I'd like if these guys would stop trying to pincer attack us. Inconveniently attack us from the rear flank. I think we're getting close to Malmouth. This feels Malmouthy. Malmouth outskirts. Alright, cool. But we're not in Malmouth yet. Oh goodness, look at that chunky boy. Valgargal, the Plague Bearer, huh? Well, looks like our damage is sufficient at a minimum. Yeah, this is definitely Malmothy. Well, let's see what's beyond the gates, huh? Also, I'm going to have to open that map again because I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have... Oh, hello there. Hey, guys. Is that all of them? Oh, hello. Okay. I'm just making sure I didn't miss a void rift because that would be super bad. Ethereal Sentinel, huh? That looks bad. Like, bad. Like, I'm going to switch over to maximum damage bad. Like, I'm going to look straight at it with the gun bad. Okay. Oh, that's what was going on. The clusters here spawn something way worse than just normal zombies. Alright. Well, that's interesting, I suppose. Alrighty. There's another one of those hideous things. Just barrel stuff it. Aether cluster, huh? Okay. Horndale again. Okay, might as well clear out the map a little bit. Yeah, these folks didn't stand a chance, I guess. Despite the fortifications. That's kind of sad. Luckily, One Button Man is the reigning champion of King of the Hill. Nice. See, this is one of the advantages of being a ranged character. Just sit up here and take them on. And then as they come up here, just plink at them in a line. It's a good day to be a rifleman. Aw, yeah. Alright. Satisfying environmental advantages aside, and their cathartic usage, set off. I just didn't want to say set aside again, alright? Like, sometimes my vocabulary isn't as great as I wish it was. Yeah, all that set aside. Still trying to find our way into the city proper. Let me guess, a cellar? Stairs down? Yeah, okay. Well, I don't want to go into anything's basement. in this crap hole. Alright. The Rift Gate is swarming with ethereals. I mean, the whole place is swarming with ethereals, you know? But I do recognize that Rift Gate, kinda. Ethereal Colossus, huh? Okay. Not really intimidated, boys. The Chthonians have a lot better, scare game than y'all do. Now here's the thing. I can see on this map right here where the next devotion shrine is, and I'm getting it. And then that'll be it for this session. But we are going to find our way there, and we are going to get it. No two ways about that. No half measures. We're going to mow down as many gribbly, stupid jerks as it takes. Okay. Okay, I can see it on the radar now. You see it right here. Hoping we can get there from... Yeah, okay, looks like we might be able to. From this side. Without having to go through any basements or cellars or any crap like that. I mean, goodness, we've seen the inside of enough cellars. And buyers, even. Oh, hey, I didn't think I could hit that from there. That's pretty dope. Again, the benefits of being a ranged character make themselves apparent. Come on, see the great El Paso. Churning, yearning, and burning idiots into chunky, funky salsa. The low price of your bodily integrity. The structural dissolution of your persons is all that is necessary for this spectacle. Yes, let's slam that in there. Excellent, excellent. Now we get another point into the bear. Nice. Fantastic. Also, I don't think I allotted the... Yeah, I didn't. I'm gonna put another point into physique. And that'll be it. We're gonna go, we're gonna shoot this. So I can actually use the freaking... Let me use... Thank you. Goodness gracious. Okay, we're not technically in the city yet, but I'll take it. Alright. Can we shoot that guy up there? Yes! Wow. Incredible. Alright, Ulgrim.
Well, here we are. Malmo, the center of industry in the north. Or it was before it all went down the slip hole. Would have been far too much luck to have the bridge down and waiting for us.
What do we do now?
Not to worry. There's an old sewer outlet not far from here, just down to the west by the river. It was a popular route for smugglers bringing contraband in and out of the Candle District. Now it will serve as our way in. No royal carpet for us. With any luck, we'll run into some of these survivors you spoke of. Take the lead.
I'm on it. To the west, huh? That's the stairs down, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's almost certainly the stairs down. I really didn't want to do that. Also, the fact that that cellar's a dangerous domain is just like... I mean, is it? He said to the west. Okay, well, I'll leave that till next time. I think, like I said, it's time to... I think that might actually be why I stopped here, is like I didn't figure out where the heck he was talking about.
How are you enjoying the sewers? I'm sure the smell is just fan a way through. Survivors.
Yeah, so like... Am I going through here? No, that's the wall. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright. I just want to see if I can get the sewers on the map so that whenever I get back here... I mean, I'll probably record again tomorrow, but I just want to make sure that I know where I'm freaking going before I leave off, because, you know, that would be kind of stinky to have to try to remember where to go in case I don't just start recording again tomorrow. Alright, come on. Bunch of jerks. Yeah, this has gotta be the way over the... Yeah, alright, cool. Alrighty. I'm not going to continue for now. Exit the main menu. That was this recording session. Like I said, I will probably record again tomorrow, but... if I don't, it's all good. I'll get back to it. I'm not sure how long Ashes of Malmouth is, in total, but I don't know. I'm not saying that, like, I hope it's over quickly, but I do remember that the Forgotten Gods expansion has, like, stuff that isn't ethereals. Like, it has all new stuff, which is kind of the reason why I'm looking forward to that. Also, I've done Forgotten Gods content, like, twice. Again, I never completed it. I got through a little bit of it one time, and then, like, what I think was the 2/3 point another time. So I'm a little bit more familiar with that, so I'll feel a little bit better, like, going through it. Also, by the time we reach the Forgotten Gods content, like, One Bud Man is going to probably be like level 70 or 75, so he's going to be on top of his crap. Like, he's going to be putting out a lot of damage, and he's going to be reaching his peak, which is going to be really fun. Like, to just watch him just blow crap apart constantly. So, anyway, that'll be it for this time. I've got to, you know, as usual, compress the stuff. Alright, well, that's it.